All right, Algebra 1 students, welcome to your 2.6 notes. Thought you'd like a little music there. Here we go with our 2.6 notes on ratios, rates, and conversions. This is supposed to be conversions. Okay, so to convert from one unit to another, you multiply the original unit by a ratio of two equivalent measures in different units. It's basically the idea of multiplying anything by 1. You're going to get something equivalent. You can multiply anything by 1. Okay, so we're going to start with number 8, or with number 1, where we convert 8 days into hours. Okay, I like to think about things as a fraction sometimes, and I'm trying to get rid of this unit of. Okay, so in order to get rid of the unit of days, we want to multiply by some sort of ratio. And this is where the idea of multiplying anything by 1 comes into play, because we know that 1 day is equal to 24 hours. Okay, so it's kind of the idea is that if we had 1 day, and we divided 1 day by 1 day, well, that's just equal to 1, right? And so that same idea can be used in order to convert from units of measure. So what we do is we actually take this idea that 1 day is equal to 24 hours, and we multiply this out by saying that 24 hours over 1 day is basically multiplying 8 days, okay? We're multiplying 8 days by 1. Basically right here. But what's going to happen is our units of days are going to cancel out, and then we're going to be left with some sort of measurement in hours. Okay, so let's. Alright, my app wasn't working. I was trying to erase some of that stuff that's sitting there so I could show you something different, but I'm going to move on because I couldn't figure it out. So I've got 8 times 24. When I multiply 8 times 24 in my calculator, I'm left with 192. And that is in hours. Okay, so my hours canceled out right there, and that's how I got there. So, all right, for number 2, we've got 258 feet. That's our given information, and we want to convert that into yards. So, in 1 yard, I have 3 feet. Okay, notice how one of the ways that I know what unit of measure to put in my denominator is I'm going to put my denominator using unit of measure as the measurement I want to cancel out, basically. So I want to cancel out these feet right here. So I'm going to put feet in the denominator. That's how I know what I'm going to cancel out. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, so it's basically like multiplying by 1. Okay, when I divide 258 feet in my calculator, I end up with 86 yards. All right, now I've converted 258 feet into yards. All right, for number 3, we want to convert $90 into cents. And I'm going to go ahead and write out dollars so we don't get confused. And we're going to multiply that by 100 cents over $1. Again, I've got dollars in my denominator so that I can cancel those out. Okay. Then I can add up how many zeros I've got. So I should have 9,000 cents in $90. All right, here we go for number 4. We've got 5 feet 11 inches. We want to convert that into inches, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just worry about the feet for a minute, okay? We want to convert that into inches. We are going to put our feet in the denominator, all right? And we know that we have 12 inches in every foot. So now I've multiplied by 1. I can cancel out my feet, and then I can just basically plug in 5 times 12 into my calculator. Oh my goodness, I actually needed to do that. I'm going to end up with 60 inches, but then I've still got these 11 inches sitting here, okay? And I want to add those, so I should have 71 inches total. And now I have converted my 5 feet 11 inches into straight inches. There we have it. For number 6. For number 5, we have 45 miles per hour, so that information is given. Okay, I was talking there for a little bit and my hand accidentally bumped the pause button. So, I've got to give you guys a little more information here that I thought I already did. Miles are actually going to have an hour in the denominator. That's kind of the way that works, all right? So this one's going to be a little more complex. We're going to have to multiply this one out a couple of times. So we've got miles per hour. We want to go to feet per second. So I want to figure out something that's got another miles in the denominator so I can get those to go away. So 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. Okay? And the other unit of measure that I want to change, let's put our feet there. The other unit of measure I want to change is this time right here. So we've got 1 hour sitting down there, and I want to change that into seconds. All right, so I'm going to have to do that. So I'm going to need an hour in our numerator in order to have those cancel out. All right, and in 1 hour, I should have 60 minutes, okay? And I'm still not done. I should have 1 minute, and that is going to be equal to 60 seconds. All right, let's cancel out a couple of things. I've got my miles canceling out. I've got my hours canceling out. I've got my minutes canceling out, and now I've got this handy dandy feet staying there, and I've got seconds staying there. That's what we were looking for. Let's go ahead and do the math. So I had a voice recording over that, and I didn't like it, so I'm re-recording what I said. Basically, in my calculator, I plugged in 45 times 5,280, and I got 237,600. That answer I divided by 60, ended up with 3,960. That answer I divided by 60 again and got 66 as my final answer. That is in feet per second. That's how we do number 5. All right, I do want you guys to go ahead and pause the video here in just a second and do number 6 on your own. But before you do that, there is a unit of measure you're going to need to know, and that is that 4 quarts equal 1 gallon. All right, and so if you know that, you can do number 6. Go ahead and pause the video, try number 6 on your own. All right, welcome back everybody. Hopefully you actually paused your video and did number 6 on your own for practice. If not, I'm going to go through it for you anyways. We had 1950 quarts per minute, so that means I did have a minute in the denominator on that one. So I wanted to cancel out my quarts, so I put my ratio of 1 gallon per 4 quarts right over here. Again, those are equivalent, so that's just like multiplying it by 1. And then 1 minute does equal 60 seconds, so I'm multiplying it by 1 again. When I plugged this into my calculator, I did one equation of 1950 divided by 4, which got me 487.50. Then I divided that answer again by 60 and got 8.125 gallons per second. That's how you do number 6. All right, to do number 7, we need to know that 1 inch has 2.54 centimeters. Okay? So 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. And when we know that, we can actually perform unit analysis and figure out which of these is larger. Okay, so I'm going to multiply 30 centimeters times, I'm gonna want centimeters in my denominator again. So I know that I've got 2.54 in my denominator. I've got 1 inch in my numerator. And now I can actually cancel out my units and actually do the division there. So 30 divided by 2.54, that equals 11.811 and some change. And that's how many inches 30 centimeters is. So we have changed that into inches. That is greater than 9 inches. That answers number 7. Okay? And number 8, it says go ahead and do on your own. You're going to need to know that unit of measure, though. And 1 quart is equal to 0.946353 liters. So I think that kind of tells us which one's going to be greater, because the one that is quarts has a little bit less than 1 liter. So let's go ahead and calculate that, though, based on our unit analysis. So we're going to have 5 quarts. All right. We want to multiply that by something that's going to cancel out our quarts. So I'm going to put that down there. And then I'm going to put this 0.946353 liters right up there. And when I calculate that in my calculator, I'm going to get 4.946353. Okay, I'm going to get 4.731765, something like that, quarts. So 5 quarts is, oops, that's supposed to be liters. So 5 quarts is actually equal to a little less than 5 liters. Okay, so that is less than 5 liters. Alright, Maximus Decimus Meridius is training to run a marathon. On his 2nd week of training, he ran 15 kilometers in 4 hours. How fast was Max running in feet per minute? Okay, so we've got 15K that he's running in 4 hours. We want to multiply that by something that's going to give us kilometers in the denominator, so we want the 1.60934 thing down there and 1 mile in the numerator. Also, we want to cancel out the feet. So we're trying to cancel out those miles now because we want to turn it into feet per minute. So we're trying to get to the feet. So we know that we have 5,280 feet, okay, in 1 mile. That's going to cancel out our miles. And then now we want to get into the measure of time because we're trying to get down to a minute. All right, so I know that I'm going to want an hour in my numerator, and I'm going to need 60 minutes in my denominator. All right, so when I plugged all that into my calculator, I got I just went ahead and plugged in everything across in my numerator, got 79,200 in my numerator, and then in my denominator I got 386 and some change there. Okay, boy, I'm running out of space over there. And then I went ahead and divided that out again, and I got 205, okay, approximately feet per minute. Okay, and the reason that my units canceled is I've got my kilometers canceling there, I've got my hours canceling there, I've got my miles canceling there,